Hey everyone, how is everyone doing on this Monday night, December 25th, 2023? Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and Happy Hanukkah, and whatever else you are celebrating, everyone of you out there, right? Happy Eid. Is there Eid as well? In any case, I just came back from my sister's place in Long Island City. I was there yesterday as well. Christmas Eve, she had invited many people that I know as well, and family, friends, and the people from who live here, people who live here, but they are from originally the mountains, right? Where I come from, where we come from, and then her mother-in-law and her brother-in-law are also here. So we had a good time yesterday, as well as today. I had a good time, We had leftovers, and then we were just playing like these games, on what was it, Nintendo Golf. So golf, it's not a simulator, but it's a what do you call? It's it's simulated golf. You can play it on Nintendo, right? And that was good actually. This is lamb. My brother-in-law cooked so good. He marinated it overnight, right? The whole leg of lamb. And then he basically just baked it, it's nice in the oven, right? It came out so good. And then everybody loved it, And obviously, I missed my wife, and everybody was there who was asking. And, they I think they kind of miss her too. And they understand that, she and I need to be together. But we just, we are on the mercy of immigration. So let's see. Again, keeping the fingers crossed, right? And I hope that, it will happen soon. That's all I can say, because, I mean, otherwise, I'm going to get worked up, just like I did actually a couple of days ago. What they say is that towards the holidays, people get worked up, especially people who are lonely and poor people too, So I'm poor too, in many ways, and not having my wife here while it's holidays, it has been 18 months almost right now. And this just sucks, it just sucks. And, again, everybody, I missed her yesterday, everybody missed her. All right, well, without repeating myself, how is everyone doing, huh? How is your holiday? How was your holiday? How was your Christmas? If you're celebrating, right? And then the New Year's is coming up, and then I gotta be careful because New Year's, it just becomes too much, too many, like people are out. Everyone is basically out in the bars and fucking restaurants and whatnot, right? I don't know, we'll do something low-key probably. Very low-key, And so yeah, I was worked up, and then I was texting my friends late, and I realized, oh shit, what? Then I apologized to them. I said, I'm sorry, It's just that again, this holiday time it's not easy for some people, some people are happy in these holiday times, oh, we celebrate this holiday and then the New Year's is coming up. But there's also a lot of anxiety, among many of us. And I already have anxiety issues, right? And it doesn't help. Because I was telling my wife today that actually yesterday I played golf. I went to Staten Island, Cyril Lake, and I was telling her, listen, I don't know if I want to go to my sister's place. She has invited me for Christmas Eve, dinner, and she has invited all these people. It's going to be the same people, And then my wife was like, well, what are you going to do? You're going to stay home and be like a lunatic, You should go, man. And I was in a bad mood for some reason right after golf, right? But I drove over and I went there, and then, I saw some of the old friends, old families, right? Old couple, etc., etc., and kind of cheered me up. We had some laughs, etc., right? And yeah, it's just that I have to be just like, patient and not get worked up. It's just not good. It's just not good. In any case, I went to stores today to get some gifts to my sister and my brother-in-law, right? And his mother-in-law, because I usually don't really give gifts to anyone, and I don't expect any gifts from anyone, But they did give me like a gift, Christmas gift yesterday, and I thanked them. What did you guys get as far as a gift, huh? I mean, I don't know. I think love is the biggest gift you can give to anyone, and I'm not talking about in a in a cheesy way that love. Yeah, that term can also be overused, right? Overused or overrated, right? But somehow, what the hell happened here? Sorry. Apple Store updates available. Do you want to? Oh my God, no, I don't want to do that. All right, so it's kind of late, and it's 11:30 at night, and I just came back, And what else is going on in the whole fucking world? I don't know. I'm glad I don't, because I'd rather just watch a movie, and sorry, I just got a text message from my sister. And what the hell am I saying? Hold on, sorry. So I don't know. Am I losing my fucking mind? I have no words, whatever it is. No, I'm not saying that, but whatever is happening in the world, it will never stop, There's always something that happens, especially, in U.S. and all over the world, I think, around these holidays in the Western world, right? I hope not. I hope there's peace, in the world. Although, again, the word peace is also overrated, overused, right? But I think individually in our lives, peace is what we want first, peace and tranquility. But other than that, I think whatever we can do to help others, I think. I'm not talking about giving them money or financially, You know, giving guidance to people based on your own experience, I think, and that if it helps someone, that's really good. And well, listen. Well, first of all, you have to be in a state of mind where you are relaxed in your life, relaxed, and you're also at the same time focused on your goals, your work, your relationship, right? And then just you're looking for some general happiness in life, general happiness in life, some sort of, and to an extent, nobody's happy every day, every hour, or nobody should be sad or unhappy every day. For some people life is not easy, and I just feel like the society somehow alienates people, because I have felt that way many times in the past, and I just felt like the society kind of sort of alienated me in many ways, and then I just basically, kept my life to myself, and a lot of, like, what do you call, a lot of unhappiness comes from that, a lot of unhappiness comes from, like, the dissatisfactions in life, and obviously the reasons for that sort of, like, dissatisfied life is, either you're not satisfied with your work or, with your relationship, right? I mean, you're not satisfied, not dissatisfied, sir. So then what you do? You compromise, or you get out of it, or you find another job or something, right? But for some people, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's easy to say than do, I think, and I feel like I should not judge people, I should not judge this fucking world, because this world is what it is, to be honest with you. Again, I'm not here to change this planet or this planetary life for the betterment of everyone. Who am I to judge, So I should not be judgmental about anything. I should be, I should be to the point, etc., etc., right? However, life goes on. Life fucking goes on, and there'll always be problems. There'll always be political unrest. There'll always be instability in the world. There'll always be, douchebags, running the shows, and blah 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 blah, right? And especially politics is everywhere. It's just not good. It's not good. Leadership comes. Good leadership comes hard in this world. Whatever it is, whatever country it is, whatever region or continent or whatever it is, right? Some countries, unfortunately, are in much worse shape than, let's say, some of the Western countries or developed countries, right? And again, what am I talking about? I'm just saying that the affairs of the world, they go on. I mean, this planet basically is going to be here for a long time, for a long time compared to our own lifespan, We are not even a blip in the in the vast ocean or period of time that this planet has gone through, right? And then the years it will go through, unless some stupid shit happens where, nuclear arsenals go left and right, and then, we basically kill the whole civilization. I hope not, right? Or we become extinct because of, let's say we are not producing any kids. 100 years, population decline becomes so bad that humans no more. But then, if you think about it, I'll be gone. All of you will be gone too, By the time that happens, I think I talked about AI and the whole craze, right? We have right now, as if AI is just going to take over the fucking world tomorrow, right? And it's just a hype, I think. And I don't want to talk about AI because I think I talked about that enough, as much as I talked about the humans trying to find exoplanets, right? Two separate things, but topics of discussion. Topics of discussion among many people, many scientists, many, many politicians, world leaders, even at the dinner table or in bars or wherever it is, right? So I don't want to talk about that, to be honest with you. Any movies, any Christmas movies, any holiday movies? I think there are few. Actually, I did watch. You know what I watched? And I was telling my wife to watch it too. Is the new movie just came out? It's called The Rebel Moon, right? With Sophia, whatever her name is, Botella, and what's his name? Charlie Hunnam, right? And so the football game. So there was a football game today, huh? I have started, speaking of which, sorry, I'm just jumping from one topic to the other. I've started watching American football, especially Sundays. I do watch, games. What else can you do now, because it's cold. And then the other thing I felt, and then again I apologize to my friends, is that I came back from Miami, and it's just, Fort Lauderdale, right? We came back from Fort Lauderdale like a week ago. Went there, right? Last weekend. And then I just that also made me depressed. I'm like, what the hell am I doing up here? It's cold, paying so many taxes, so much traffic up here, and, it's just, things down there are, everything is cleaner and less like, nuisance and blah, 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 right? And that kind of make me depressed, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing up here, But I have all my clients are up here, all my construction projects are up here. I had to basically start from square one if I move down to someplace like Fort Lauderdale or let's say West Palm Beach, right? Because the problem is that I have to find new clients, and I can't abandon clients here because that's like my bread and butter. That's how I pay my bills, pay myself, pay my engineers, send a little bit of money to my wife. And also, when she comes here, she will be on the payroll as well. and then I had to pay, I had to pay office rent, my IT guys, my what do you call other office expenses, right, etc., etc. So I can't just abandon that, because what the hell am I going to do? Work for another company, which I did early this year, and it just became so much that I just couldn't deal with it, you know. And then luckily, all of a sudden, my old clients came back, or new clients. I got new clients, and I told the architecture company I was working for, uh, and I didn't really like also get along with their managers, to be honest with you. That's what happens when you have been running your own company for such a long time, right? For like 10 years that I've run, and then if you want to go back and work for another company, and then the personality clashes, the style of management, and then all those things, right? And their setup, it becomes impractical. It becomes like on a daily basis, it becomes a headache. That's what I felt like. I worked for that company uh, like 2 months, I think, 2.5 months, and it just became like too much. Was that actually this year or last year? I think it was this year, right? Was it this year? I think it was last year. Anyways, it doesn't matter. 2022, right? And many of the companies like mine, have gone under through COVID. To be honest with you, a lot of independent working architects, engineers, who relied on the clients, who who just disappeared. I mean, not disappeared, but I think they just went under because there was no work. COVID was horrible. And to an extent, I felt that I was going to go under, but then I was going through a really tough time through COVID, to be honest with you, you know, and and then my own like oblivion during that time, that also didn't help. And again, I don't want to talk about fucking COVID, although somebody was saying, or maybe was it in the news that there are some cases of COVID now. I'm hoping that nothing like that happens again. I hope not, because that was like an event that actually just affected entire fucking planet. Um, and I'm again, let's just all of us hope that nothing like that happens again. And we basically continue with our lives as we do, right? So, what do I want to talk about? I don't want to fucking talk about COVID, because I feel like I get PTSD from that. PTSD from like going through that fucking period, and then years and years of just being lonely also gives me some sort of fucking PTSD, anxiety, and I mean I'm not lonely now. I have a caring and beautiful wife, and yeah, we have our own differences, but who doesn't, right? So I don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about something more positive. It's Christmas Day today. I mean, I'm not a Christian. There are a lot of Christians who believe in this, and it's their holidays, one of their biggest holidays, and peace and love, and I think those are the things that everybody should be basically, wishing, and happiness in years to come for everyone. That's what I should say too. For everyone out there, my friends, my family, uh, I just wish that they live successful lives, and if they have any problems in their lives, I hope that they get resolved, and they're able to resolve them amicably and blah blah blah, right? Am I just like sounding like a preacher? No, I'm not a preacher. I'm not a priest of any sort. I'm just a fallible human being. And I'm just a human being who has a lot of sort of rough edges that I have to work on and blah blah blah, right? I took the computer with me to my sister's because I thought I would work for like an hour, but then I'm like, they were like, why do you want to work? It's like Christmas Day. Let's just have fun, and that's what we did. We talked and we just played games, not video games, but played golf was good. And so I think everybody has to like take a chill fucking pill, right? Not the other way around. Don't take those fucking pills. What the legal opioids are? No, nobody should have to like take any pills whatsoever. Any like other prescription doctors give you or whatever it is. Even like the off the counter. Unless you are really like suffering. Unless you're flu and you're runny fucking nose. Stay away from all those fucking medicines as much as possible. Try to be happy in your life, and eat healthy. Don't drink too much. Yesterday, although I had a few beers, I think, and but it was also good to see all of the old friends, family, that I hadn't seen in a long time. Why am I fucking chewing on this? All right, so what are we talking about? Oh, okay, so this is what I want to talk about, right? And I think I said this maybe in my older podcast about the calendar. So how did the calendar with 12 months and 7 days, right? 24 hours. 60 minutes in an hour and 60 seconds in a minute, right? So this calendar is called the Gregorian calendar, which was actually devised by Jesuit priests in Europe in the 1600s, I think. Was that the 1600s? When they actually threw in another day for leap year every 4 years, right? Just to compensate some of the time that actually I think it's stretching. Is that what it is? I mean, I'm not an expert on this, but I'll just tell you that the 12 months calendar, which is based on Jesus' birthday, which is today, and then the calendar starts, basically New Year's calendar starts 5 years out, 7 years out, 7 days after, right? Exactly 7 days after his birthday. And although I don't know, because it's like 2,000 years ago, whether he was really born on December 25th, I don't know. But whatever it is, right? So the Gregorian calendar is based on that. So remember we say AD or BC. So AD is basically after Dominion, right? Which is after the birth of Christ, right? Which is basically more or less 22,000 years ago, all right? But the calendar was set in place which is a solar, it's a solar calendar actually. It's not a lunar calendar, right? I think the Jews and the Jews and the Muslims and probably maybe Buddhists, the lunar, don't they actually follow lunar calendar for the year holidays and all that, right? But here's the problem with the lunar calendar. Lunar calendar, changes. So if you follow a lunar calendar, it becomes a nightmare for businesses. It will become a nightmare for businesses, and for like a day-to-day, what do you call life? I think, and the clock and all that, right? But in any case, listen, I have nothing against lunar or whatever calendar, but what we follow is basically solar calendar that was devised by Jesuit priests based on 12 months and 7 days, right? So, as you all know, that one thing is fixed. Two things are fixed. Because I think there are some scientists who are actually trying to come up with some sort of a metric calendar, right? I think I mentioned that. I was trying to come up with a metric calendar. You can just punch in some numbers in Excel, and then you can come up with okay, so two things are fixed, right? One is the rotation of Earth around Sun, right? So those are 365 days and change, right? Leap years is 366. And then the other thing that's fixed is the rotation of Earth around its own axis, right? So that basically generates days and nights, right? Depending on where you are in the world. On this planet, right? So you keep those things fixed. So the 365 number is fixed, means those are 365 days, right? And nights. And then the rotation, right? Now 24 hours you can set your time to any number, right? Which we have set it to 24 hours. We say, oh, you know what? We have 24 hours because we have set that clock. The second in the international clock, whatever that is, right? It ticks certain time, because time moves forward, right? Time moves forward, so forward moving time, the clock ticks 1 second, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you can change that to whatever you want. You can make it faster, or you can make it slower, right? So if you want to come up with a metric calendar, I'm not saying that we should actually come up with a metric calendar. I don't know. Where, you can actually change that second or the duration of that second, and then set it to, for example, then now you can say, oh, you know what, I want 1 minute to have like 100 seconds, right? So that's basically metric. Decimals and deca and, like hundreds, that's metric, right? So if you want to come up with that, so you have to do that, but the days are still going to be 365, right? So those 365 days, and then you can have, I don't know, you can have 100 hours a day, right? Instead of 24 hour, and because then you can basically make the clock faster, and then those become 100, right? Depending on how you set your clock, right? And then the 100 hours, let's say 100 hours, or let's say whatever, 50 hours, like 20 hours, right? Instead of 24. And then those 20 hours you can change to, so if 20 hours are, let's say 100 hours become 1 day, then you can change that day and divide it into, let's say now we want to have 10 days in a week, right? You want to have 10 days in a week, and then you want to have 10 months instead of like 12 months, right? So you can do that. So you can adjust the clock. So your second international scale of second, that has to be changed first. All right. If you want to come up with a metric calendar, so I think there are some scientists who are proposing that, but then who is the authority on this calendar, right? I understand it's not a priority, but I think what they were saying was that those scientists who are proposing the metric calendar were saying that every month, every day of the month will fall on the same day if you come up with that metric calendar, right? Now, what does that mean? And then you don't have to have a leap day, right? Like February, every 4 years, February has 29 days instead of 28 days, right? So all that garbage is gone, and then you just have a 30-day month or 20-day month, right? Based on whatever duration you have set your 1 second to. So that is something that's neat. Means that, so for example, I was born on a Sunday, right? So if I was born on a Sunday, what happens is that every year, the same day, right? It's not a Sunday. It becomes a Monday. It becomes Friday, depending on years. And so what these scientists are they actually called, like, what are they called? Calendarologists? I just like coined that term. And what they are saying is that, so if you human beings, international authority on whatever, calendarism sounds like whatever ism, sir. I mean, I don't think there's any authority, but in any case, so that's one neat thing, which is great, right? So if you were born let's say, whatever, February 15th, 1980, right, which happens to be, let's say, a Monday, right, then every February 15th, every year, will be a Monday. So that's what they're proposing, right? Which is the best thing. And then I think there were a couple of other things that, I'm sorry, I should have done my homework, but then I just talking shit. Okay, I'm not presenting here like scientific theory about a metric calendar. I'm just giving you my own opinion with some sense of logic, right? So what is it, or what else is it that metric calendar is going to actually make it easier for human beings to adopt than this current Gregorian calendar, right? Okay, so, well, I think 10 months would be easier than like 12 months, right? And then we got like 31 days in January, and then with 31 days in December, and then we got like 28 days in February, and then back to March is 31st. Right? It's like we're going up and up and down and up and down, up and down, right? So I think that will also be gone, right? I think you can come up with a calendar based on simple maths, and that's what they did, I think. But then who's going to adopt it? Right? And you can basically start same January 1st. I don't think anybody cares whether you start in January 1st or whatever it is, right? But yeah, keep it at January 1st, but just make it simpler, right? Isn't the whole premise of like living life is to basically, through everything that we have as humans come up with, is to keep our lives easier, make our life easier for every one of us, and keep it simple, right? So I think it may be a time for like a simpler calendar. You know, it's not a priority. I'm not saying that. You know, we got two fucking wars going on in this world. You know, and then we have a problem of like $30 trillion debt in this country, right? Which goes up every year. And then in our own individual lives, we have to pay the fucking taxes. We have to be worried about the bills, right? How to feed ourselves, feed our loved ones, our kids, etc., etc., right? So, what would happen if somebody says, "Oh, you know what? Oh, yeah, let's change the calendar to a metric calendar." So, what's going to happen? I think there's going to create some chaos. So basically, I think all the clocks are going to have to change, right? Including computer clocks. So all the digital clocks will have to be based on that. Means that every new computer after that has to have that clock, right? And then every clock has to have that calendar, right? That setting, which the duration of the second has to be per the metric calendar, right? So, yeah, that's going to cause a chaos. Remember when year was changing from 1999 to 2000, right? I wasn't here in America, but there was a lot of hype and fear. Y2K, remember Y2K? Oh shit, Y2K. Oh my God. Because 1999 is obviously a totally different number than 2000, right? So the fear was that, oh, you know what, now all our years are only 2 digits, right? So we had 88, right, for example, for the year 1988, right, in all the computer systems, and the same thing for like, let's say 99, right? So it was just 99. It wasn't 1999. So the fear was that, oh shit, when the clock hits, midnight of December 31st, 1999, oh, it's going to crash the whole digital computers or digital systems, right? Because they won't be able to understand, okay, so what's after 1999? After 99, is it going to be 00 or what? Well, after 99 is 100. So I think that their fear was that, oh, the computer is going to basically read 100 instead of 2000. And there were not enough digits, so it was going to read 00. I think it did read 00, and then nothing crashed. Everything was fine, right? But in any case, I understand, those are totally two different things that I'm talking about, but it's going to create some chaos to actually implement the metric calendar, But then, after that chaos is over, I think we all, I think, have an easier, simpler calendar. So that's the kind of the history of the calendar we have right now, which is based on solar, our sun, not lunar, and that was devised by Jesuit priests who were also astronomers. All right, so they basically came up with these days that, oh, wait a minute, you know what? From one season to the other, and then back to the same season, right? And then the way Earth rotates around our star is basically 365 days, right? Plus one, right? Every 4 years. So they did whatever they could. I mean, we're talking about 17th century. So we are following that calendar. We didn't have a lot of, obviously, technology. We didn't have calculators. We didn't have, like, programming. We didn't have fucking Excel sheets to come up with, And also come up with a calendar, much better calendar. And also, we didn't have a lot of telescopes. to precisely, I think, track our Earth's, rotation on its axis, and also around Earth. I'm sorry, around star sun, right? So there you go. That's my 2 cents on the calendar on this planet that we follow. And the lunar calendar, again, is very complicated because it changes every month, unfortunately. It's like if you have to basically throw in there one day every 4 years. It's like it's totally different. Lunar calendar is completely different. That's just a chaos, to be honest with you. And for day-to-day life, and for scientific clocks and all that, no, you can't use that. All right. What else is going on, huh? So okay. So that's the human calendar. And don't be what do you call surprised that if somebody says, wait a minute, we gotta change the calendar to a metric calendar now. You guys will have to come up with the implementation strategy, right? Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Again, that's not the priority. I'm just saying that for the sake of, discussion, for the sake of my podcast, as I always do, just talk. And so what's going to happen, let's say, if we go to Mars? Obviously, then we'll have to follow the same solar calendar, right? And we know now in this century, Mars has how many days around Earth? Is Mars farther? Obviously farther, right? So it has more days around Sun, not Earth. I'm sorry. And so that calendar obviously will be different, right? Is that what it is? Is that different? That calendar will be different? Yeah, we'll have to come up with a Martian calendar. No. The Earth's current calendar is not going to work there, right? You can't use 12 months there. 365? No, of course not, right? So it has to be whatever many days, 600 days, whatever Mars is days. Let me see. Mars is days around Sun. So Mars, okay, here we go, that's it. Mars is equivalent of Earth days, right? Would be 687. 687 days equal Earth days. So that means that it takes 687 Earth days. So somehow we will have to take this into consideration, right? If we ever have a base on Mars, and then we have to basically say, oh, hold on a second now, wait a minute. And then we're going to have these kids who are going to be born on Mars, then they will be basically celebrating their birthdays based on the Martian calendar, right? Not the Earth calendar, right? So I think somehow we can't say that, oh, you know what, Martian days are 687. Yeah, but that's based on 24 hours and, that the duration of the second we have set for our calendar, right? Now, would we have to basically set another separate calendar for that? Or is that going to be really complicated? Oh, wait a minute, no, we can't have a separate calendar on Mars because then that would screw up things since we'll be going back and forth between Earth and Mars. So what is going to happen? Well, I think unless Martians, say, oh, you know what, we don't want to be part of Earth anymore. At some point in time in fucking future, right? They'll say, oh, we're gonna have our own fucking calendar. You know what? Well, we are Martians now. We're born here, and then we are like second generation Martians. So I think they're gonna come up with their own fucking calendar, and they're gonna just basically just do everything in their own whatever, right? Government setup and all that, right? So I'm just saying, that's like a scenario in a fictional book, right, or a fictional whatever movie, right? That now we have to basically come up with all these other aspects are solutions if we are going to live on Mars that we need, because we can't use the ones we have here on Earth, including the calendar, right? And obviously, Mars's atmosphere is completely different. But that's okay. But that's a whole different discussion. I don't want to get into. All right. You need a different propulsion system to fly, airplanes there, blah, 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 right? You probably need just jet engines, right? Whatever. But I mean, we as human beings are at the nascent, basically at the very basic of like doing anything outside our own planet Earth. Yeah, we have a lot of fucking satellites, and a lot of space junk that actually revolves around Earth, right? You name it, the whatever satellites, everything, cell phones, your TV channels, internet, everything now is through satellites, all right? Which are obviously powered by solar panels, right, on them. And it's I mean, what I'm talking about is a far-fetched idea for now. If we humans, again, don't destroy this fucking planet, not because of climate change, that may be an issue in future, long, what do you call, a long time in future, not like 10 years or 15 years that these people are talking about. And I talked about that in my last podcast. I don't want to talk about that again. But we are not even ready to send back, I hope we are, humans to moon. We were there 50 years ago, right? Then what happened? Well, priorities got changed, right? And then, we got into this Cold War, whatever it was. And, that's I think that's the disgruntledness of the among the astrophysicists and the scientists and blah, 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 right? And that, we should have been there and we should have set up a base there, right, by now. Yeah, why am I changing my subject from, like, I went from Gregorian calendar to, like the Martian calendar, is that what it is? Or the calendar of the moon. If we are on moon, okay, so if we set up a base on moon, are we going to have the lunar calendar, which is really so complicated, Is that what it is? Probably, right? We'll have to take into account something in there, right? Some sort of an algorithm in there to make aware, people who be at the moon base to say, oh, you know what, moon revolves around fucking Earth, and then it gets the it gets the light from sun during this time, and then during this time it doesn't, and then so all that will have to be figured out, right? So there you go. So that's another complication, right? If we first go to, let's say, moon and then set up a base there, right? What movie was that actually showed a base with who was it? It's a newer movie. It's not an old movie. I'm pretty sure there are other movies too, where they have to go to Mars, but then the problem is that, well, there's a problem because Mars was supposed to have a base, but then we already have a base on Moon, and the movie shows the whole like setup of base, and the vehicles they have on Moon, and the suits, and they show what the base looks like, the buildings and inside, and blah blah blah, right? But again, that's just science fiction. We are not there yet. I mean, this is an exciting time. At the same time, we have other priorities on this fucking planet, right? I think, obviously, right, we have to do both. Whatever we have to do on this fucking planet, that goes on, right? Whatever we have to solve the problem of whatever electricity or hunger or nowadays fucking AI fear or whatever, right? And then at the same time, our scientists, astrophysicists, we have to somehow be able to have another base somewhere else other than Earth, right? It's a baby step, I think. That's what it is, right? So, I'm sorry, I went from one topic to the other, and it's already past midnight, so I think I should just close my podcast. I have to take it easy, and again, I said sorry to my friends, because I was really like depressed coming back from Fort Lauderdale, to be honest with you. Very depressed. In this weather and everything else up here in the Northeast, and I think I just have to be more grateful for what I have, Thank the universe, and I think I should just focus on that and stay positive instead of being negative. And I get that. Like if you go to a nicer place like Florida now, right? People are nicer down there, etc., etc. And then you come back up here and just like, oh my God, what am I doing here? And that's all true. It's nothing that I said. It's just that I can't just be worked up about that, And then my wife is not here. It's holidays, and it's like, the whole the jazz, And so I don't want to just repeat myself, and I just gotta just take it easy, take it easy. Whose song is that? Take it easy. So with that note, I think I should close my podcast. I presume again you all are having a great holiday time with your family, your loved ones, or whoever you are with. And I wish you all a great and Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah, Happy Eid, Kwanzaa, whatever you guys, celebrate, you know, with your families and loved ones again, friends. And I will see you all next week.